Welcome to the Talking Sport Report podcast with Scotty and Eggo.
Unbelievable.
It's the Talking Sport Report. This is episode number 23. Oh, Scotty, you know what that means. There's a bit of pressure on tonight's podcast for us.
It's definitely not related to MJ, is it?
No one gives a shit about Michael Jordan these days.
It's got to be the man, the legend, Shane Keith Warne.
Absolutely. As the famous 12th man, what did he say, Bill Laurie?
Get him up here, I want to buff him. I love him, I want to buff him.
That's exactly it. Look, on us here tonight to make sure this is a good episode to dedicate to the great man Shane Warne for episode number 23. But we have just had one cracking weekend of rugby league. The game on Friday night kind of felt like it was always going to be the Storm's game, right?
Yeah.
Did you at any point think the Storm weren't going to win that game?
Not so much didn't think they were going to win, but at one point, though, it was like every time the Storm scored, Sharks decided they want to come back into it. Katoa got the 2 tries for them. It was just that case of I didn't think Storm would kick on and get away. I thought it would have been the way it unfolded at the start. I thought it would have been a bit tighter at the end, like a couple of points in it. Wasn't a blowout in any means. I honestly thought it would have been down there, but it was not a result I think that was ever in doubt.
No, never really had that vibe. And then you flick the one from Sunday. Just what a game where the Panthers lead the entire game outside of the last minutes and the Broncos steal one. That was just an electric atmosphere. And again, like I think you pointed out before when we saw the Broncos play Canberra, you were like, if this is our grand final, no one's disappointed.
Oh.
And again, a prelim final, that could have been the grand final on Sunday and no one would be disappointed.
Exactly. I'll tell you what did shock me, though. I'm pretty sure that was Cleary's first loss in 28 games in a daytime fixture, which is insane. And normally, you know it yourself, if you're watching Brisbane, you're watching them on a Thursday or a Friday night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, wow, talk about flipping the script. But I mean, we discussed this pre-show. You don't seem too happy about the grand final, Storm v Broncos, but were you ever going to be happy if it was Storm v Penrith?
Yeah, I feel like everyone was saying whenever, like how bad would it be if it's Storm v Penrith and
Penrith again?
Yeah, the worst grand final in history. But then I think, in my mind, the other worst grand final is what we've currently got. So no matter which way you're screwed, no matter which way, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just hoping for a decent fixture with, I don't know, just some quality football and hopefully some semi-decent refereeing. Although that's probably asking a bit much, isn't it?
Well, there's actually an even bigger dilemma. There's a bigger dilemma.
Oh, how does it get bigger?
What night is the grand final played on?
It'll be played on Sunday night.
And when you're doing a grand final, like if you're thinking Sunday night, we record our show on a Sunday night, so it would technically be our grand final, would it not?
Yes. But here we go.
Sunday night. Why can't we record our show on Sunday night?
Because I will be extremely inebriated.
Yes.
That's being polite, to be honest. I mean, I'm willing to try this, but my concern is, what time's the game finish? It finishes at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I then have to get home. And granted, the establishment house I'll be at is only a kilometre away.
Yeah.
But when you've had a few and you don't know how you're getting back home, I could dial in here at 10:15. I could dial in here at 2:15 in the morning. I don't know. I didn't want to put that pressure on you. And remember, it's a long weekend.
Yeah.
Just be a nice boss and just give me the freaking night off, would you?
Well, the good thing is, at least the fact you have pointed out it is a long weekend. So technically it's fine because what we just do is we go, cool. We don't tell everybody that we're inebriated. And we drop the episode on Monday, everybody. So it's this incredible new thing we've got because it's a long weekend. We don't want to drop it on a Sunday because no one will be here on Monday. We all partying. So the episode gets dropped now on Monday night. I mean, marketing spin is what it is all about, Scott. It's all about the marketing.
And I have told you previously, we've got listeners that listen in their car on the way to work, on the way home from work, sometimes on the job.
Yep.
This is going to work out in our favour.
Oh,
trust me.
100% it will. 100% it will.
Trust me.
Wrong with that.
Trust me. I'm just trying to sell it in my favour.
Let's get to the show itself because there is a lot of stuff to get to tonight because we've got some great NRL questions that need to be answered. The first one, Scotty, is Jerome Hughes and Reynolds, risks worth taking?
Absolutely. Now, Hughes first. I honestly was very concerned, especially seeing how strapped and padded that arm was. And then he put all those concerns to bed when he just gave a huge left arm fend. It was almost just a piss off, don't talk to me, and strolled his way over for a try. I thought it would be a concern. I think he's come out of this unscathed. I think he's just going to be better again next week. As for Reynolds, I have harped on this for a couple of weeks, and you know it. My views have been, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Yes. And for the last, 6 weeks, Reece Walsh has been the number one man. He's been their go-to. He's been the center of everything. Gets sent to the bin, comes on, spurs them into an amazing victory against Canberra. I thought it would have derailed the entire thing. And of all teams to bring him back in against, it was Penrith. And at the end of the day, that's why Madge is getting paid to coach. And I'm sitting here on no income talking with you.
Yeah. Why you're not the coach of the Broncos. Yeah.
Bingo. Bingo.
It was a valid question you sort of had because we were sort of saying that the biggest issue was, any time without Reece Walsh having the ball is not good. Or with the game on Sunday against the Panthers was the fact that Reece didn't have the greatest game. He played some good moments, of course, but wasn't like he played like he did the other night against the Raiders or anything like that. He threw, could have been an intercept pass there in that first half if it wasn't for like half a yard off the line. It was a shocking pass, forced a lot of issues, lost the ball a couple of times, and it was Reynolds that actually iced the game at the end. We saw Reece Walsh miss an easy conversion, and then Reynolds, Iceman, hasn't kicked. Now, that hammy must have been bloody tight for that sideline conversion.
How much work do you think he had put into that before game and halftime? I reckon there would have been some heat cream on that. Oh, there would have been some Metzel in that shed, I'm telling you. Imagine the smell.
I'm surprised we didn't. You remember how James Graham that year came out for the Bulldogs and he had so much deep heat or what was it, like Vaseline on the back of his legs? It looked like a skin.
It was just glistening.
Yeah, it was caked on. It looked like he had leprosy.
Yeah.
That's how thick it was. I would say that'd be very similar to what Reynolds had in deep heat on his hands.
But I don't know if we're going to get to it, but I just kind of wanted to mention Madge.
Yeah,
are we going to cross this path at all, or is this in our show run, or can I bring this up now?
Go for it. Go.
I just love when he got the job.
Yep,
Brisbane legends were just up in arms at this guy. It's not right. Yeah. He's not a Queenslander. He's not a former Bronco. He's coming from the New South Wales job to take this. It's just not acceptable. I think it's safe to say he's done all right.
He's turkey slapped him.
Oh, doesn't that take you back? I honestly think he's done well, and hats off to him. He copped a lot of shit, a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
Good on him. I think he's clearly the right man for the job. Look where they are. This is sensational. I mean, it's going to be a fantastic game. Whether people wanted this game or not, it's what we've got, and I think it's going to be bloody brilliant.
Yep. brings us to our second question, and that is the Storm have a massive advantage because they played on Friday night.
You reckon?
It's got to be said. Like,
I know.
2 days.
I know. You know what? We spoke about this pre-show, and I am looking forward to you voicing the points that you gave me. But at the end of the day, like I said to you, these guys are getting paid huge money to do this for a living. If you've got a 5-day turnaround, if you've got a 7-day turnaround, 9-day turnaround, deal with it. You're getting paid this kind of money. Look at European footballers. You know, Champions League, Europa League. They play on a Thursday, our time, and they're backing up again Sunday, our time. Granted, they're probably on a hell of a lot more, but you're getting paid to do it. You're fit. Ice bars, there'll be plenty of masseuse that going on. There'll be rub and tugs. I don't know, but I think there'll be a plethora of recovery going on. I don't think they'll let it get to them.
Yeah, I don't think. No, the problem is Toby Sexton isn't playing, so the old R&T is probably not a big issue as opposed to what he behind the scenes. But I think it is, because I look as far as, remember when the Raiders lost that nail-biting game to the Broncos in the first week of the finals, and everyone was like, oh, geez, that's going to be a tough one to come back from. And less than 7 days later, they're playing, and they just look flat in their next game. That was a brutal on Sunday. Very, very brutal game. So no matter what the go is, no matter who goes through to that grand final, that is going to be a really tough backup for the grand final. And you're going up against a side in the Storm that had the week off, had a lot easier game, and they played on Friday. So they got those extra 2 days. They're now in day, like when the Broncos wake up in the morning, the Storm are on to day 3 of recovery. They are well within they are planning now. They are running hard, whereas the Broncos will be having a day of recovery.
Yeah, it's all right. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. I don't know. I mean, was there a way around it? I mean, we can play a doubleheader on a Friday night during the regular season. Why couldn't we do it?
They should have just manned up and just put the damn game on Saturday night. Like,
yeah,
would have been.
What time did AFL finish?
It
was done by what, 3:30, 4 o'clock?
Yeah, the game over by after half time.
I think, all right, you do make a valid point. I feel like there's got to be a better way around it. There does. For the players, at the end of the day, professionals or not, give them that extra day. Try and make this as fair as humanly possible.
Just really puts the odds now well back in the Storm's favour. It should be, I mean, like, huge favourites to go into this game. But I guess the other reason why I feel like they could be favourites is question number 3. The Broncos' job gets a lot tougher without that crowd.
That crowd was something else today, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Like, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's you can't even turn around and say, well, Melbourne's in the same boat because they're coming to Sydney without their crowd. But in all honesty, I don't think the Melbourne crowd's anything on the crowd you get there at Suncorp. You know, and I said this to you the other day, it's comparing apples and oranges. Like, Brisbane fans are passionate, they're vocal, they're in your face, they let you know about it. We've seen it with Origin games. You go to a Melbourne game, it's like, oh, well done, old chap. Fantastic try. Good effort. It's so different.
But you got to admit, I've never watched a Melbourne Storm game and not heard that bloody cowbell. That cowbell is everywhere. You can't knock that.
What are the odds you hear it in Sydney?
Oh, you'll probably hear 3 of them. You'll probably hear 3 of them. And then we'll know they're on rotation, and all 3 decide to rock up to the grand final. But swear to God, that cowbell, how it gets through customs at the airport, I'll never know.
It's like it's getting smuggled. I just don't want to say where. Exactly. Holy shit!
Exactly,
that's brutal.
Right. So the Storm, loving what they witnessed on the weekend, that just bashing each other for 80 minutes up there in Brisbane.
I think they're going to really play into that. They're going to. like you said, they're a few days in. Big chance they may have trained this morning.
Yeah.
Professionals, they would have. I wouldn't be surprised if they've sat down, watched this game, and then they may watch again tomorrow, study it, look for some weaknesses, look at who may be carrying something. You said it yourself. What about Payne Haas? Guy was bleeding from every hole he had available.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't already a hole there in his body, blood was still coming from it. I think Melbourne are really going to use that to their advantage for sure. They were battered. They were bruised. I think this is, you're right. The crowd, it's the less days rest. I think this has just become a lot harder for Brisbane. But then in saying that, I'd almost written them off yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to work out sometimes, isn't it?
Oh.
The way we're going at the moment. But this brings the next question is, who does have the home crown advantage come Sydney Grand Final week or Grand Final Sunday next weekend? Because we know for a fact that both teams are technically Queensland teams, and we know Sydney, obviously the home of the Blues, but obviously each side do get to bring their fans in. But you'd think being a Sydney game, there's going to be a lot of neutrals there. So where do their allegiance lie?
It's tough because Brisbane, it's the epitome of Queensland. You think of Brisbane, you think of Suncorp, you think of State of Origin, you think of how brutal some of those games are, the hostility. But then you think of Melbourne, you think of their spine. You've got, two Queenslanders and a Kiwi that make up 75% of their spine. I don't know. Is this a case that Sydney fans at the game now are going to go for Brisbane for the pure fact Madge, Payne Haas, just to name a couple? Yeah. Maybe. I mean, there's guys in a chat that I'm in that are straight on the Brisbane bandwagon for those two reasons. I don't know. I don't see Melbourne having the support there that Brisbane will have for those two reasons. Now, it's not going to be a Brisbane crowd that we know because you're going to have a hell of a lot of neutrals there. You're going to have Penrith supporters that would have brought their tickets, Doggies supporters.
I actually work with a guy who bought tickets to the Grand Final. He's a Doggies fan.
Yeah.
I reckon round 13, round 14.
But hey, the positive for that, think of the markup he can sell that for.
That's true.
He'd make 200%, 300%, 400% right now if he threw them on a buy, swap, and sell page in Brisbane.
Absolutely. But I guess the other thing to consider with the fact that these two sides, remember we did a poll at midway through the season, the most hated clubs in the NRL, and the Broncos and the Storm were right up the top.
Yeah. Didn't Brisbane win it?
Yes. Brisbane were by far.
See, now you factor that into it.
The Storm were very, very hated.
Well, in all honesty, you could end up seeing a crowd of about 1,500 at this stage.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't rule anything out.
Or just a whole stadium full of people going for blood sport, just want them to kill each other. You know what I mean?
You get one or two that just, at the end of the day, rugby league's the real winner.
That's right. Well, there's a lot of heckling. There's this constant heckling. Every side gets heckled by the same people.
Love a good heckle, though. Yeah. Love a good heckle.
Heckle is good. All right, let's move on to the next question. And this one's an interesting one because the Panthers just got knocked out. And some babies right now in Penrith that have never known a world in which the Penrith Panthers aren't in the grand final. Like, it's been 5 years.
Babies, not even babies. Like, even 9-year-olds. Yeah. They've never seen an NRL grand final that has not got Penrith in it.
Well, they have.
I mean,
just haven't been
nothing to remember. But I mean, in saying that, is this, I mean, shit, this would be your daughter's first grand final without Penrith in it.
And my son.
Look, there you go.
They're both. Yeah.
It's at times are changing. It's just completely screwed with everything in this country right now. 100%. Completely.
Which like, is the question is, are the Panthers now more dangerous in 2026 than they were like right now? Because you think about all these great players they've got that are young, that are coming through, that just get better next year and have a little bit of heartache. will they be now almost a lock-in for the grand final in 26?
I can guarantee there will not be a 7th place finish, and they will not be last at any point, maybe after round 1, depending. I can't see them doing this season again. You look at the players they've got as well. Blaze Tulagi is only going to get better.
Right.
He's fantastic already.
Yeah.
You give him a full off season, we're in the 6. He's going to come out next season and he's just going to be a step above where he is now. And that's dangerous. Is this now a case, as you said, of moving forward, we're just going to see continual presence of Penrith? Like, is this time next year in a preliminary final, are they going to be there again? Whether they win and go through the grand final, is this now just a regular occurrence for the next 3, 4, 5 more years?
Yeah. Is next year the start of their next 5, Pete?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's get through next weekend first, and then we'll start worrying about what happens with Penrith after. Because right now they're probably booking flights for Tuesday to head overseas.
I reckon there'd be something about it that they would be getting people going, oh, hey, what are you doing next Sunday? And they'd be like, oh, we're going to play the grand final. They don't even, in their own mind, they don't even understand what a Sunday grand final is without them. They'll be like, oh, what do you mean we lost? We're not playing. We always play the grand final. I thought that was just a lock in our contract that Penrith play in the grand final every year.
Yeah, you're right. Jerome's probably on the blower trying to tee up Cleary to come over for a barbie next Sunday.
Yeah.
Still not used to it. Sorry, mate. I've got to kid up. You know what it's like. Yeah, you're right. They don't know what life is like next Sunday not being a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor Nathan's probably going to rock up to this grand final breakfast next week thinking he's on the guest list.
Yeah.
Poor bastard.
It's on the bus on Sunday and thinks, where's everybody?
What are we doing? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Oh, far out.
Last question I've got for you, and it's an interesting one because I feel for the supporters. The Sharks, they're just destined forever to be in the top 4, and that's about it.
We spoke about this at this stage. It was probably a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Does anyone outside of their fan base, and I'm not being rude, actually give a shit about the Sharks? Like, what I mean by that is, you could rattle off an NRL team right now, and I could probably give you a reason as to why I hate them, why I dislike them, why I cannot stand seeing them succeed. But when you talk about the Sharks, no one really has anything bad to say about them. You're just like, oh, it's the Sharks. Yeah, whatever. But is this now the case of it's like that one kid every year that comes in for the tryouts, never makes the team, but he's always back next year? Yeah. Is that the Sharks? Like, we're finished 4th again. We're just making up the numbers. Is it a sense of false hope? I feel for their supporters. Is it false hope?
I think it's great because you think about like all the clubs that are out there right now. The Bulldogs are going to get better next year. The Raiders are better next year. I know they lose Fogarty, but their team is phenomenal, and that's a bit of heartache you kind of need. That clubs like the Broncos and give
you that drive.
Totally, you almost need that bit of like you got through the year really well. You played great, but finals is different to the regular season, and you look at those sort of sides. You go, they'll all take a step up. And
Parramatta.
Oh, Parramatta for sure. If they
season without Moses getting injured,
yeah,
they're a different breed next year.
Totally. So if all these sides come screaming up and I guess push the Sharks out of the 4, and you got to think Penrith are going to be there, right? They're not going to be outside the 4 next year. You wouldn't think.
I don't think so. I don't know. Is this a case of we could have an off year where Sharks coast through and they flirt with 9, 10, 11 and end of round 26, they've finished up and they've finished 9th and it's like, shit, we've got a final series without the Sharks. And then something will happen and someone will get done for breaching the salary cap and then it's like, hey, Sharks, tap on the shoulder. Oi, boys, you're in.
You're in.
It's just the way it is. They're always there.
Yeah.
But then again, are they always there just kind of making up the numbers?
Yep. Maybe.
Like I said,
next year.
If you're not a Shark supporter, you don't really give them a second thought.
Yeah, unfortunately for those guys. It was a good end of the season. They played well at the end of the season, but they just seem to always make that final little game. They could get to the prelim. That's kind of like their big day, and they overachieved. I thought in the previous 2 rounds of the way it kind of all went. But
You said it yourself. Did they play their grand final? Was last weekend? Was that their grand final?
yeah, I think I said it twice.
Yeah, actually, we wrote them off hard, didn't we?
We did. Thank God
God.
we were writing them off hard all the whole time. One thing I wanted to bring up though that's an interesting point. Jerome Hughes. Now we have this world right now that we're living in. It's very AI focused. There's a lot of AI going on, and it gave me sort of Terminator vibes when I see Jerome Hughes go out to play on the week. He's wearing this big ass brace around his arm to hide the fact that his arm is literally broken. The guy comes after 6 days, something like that, with a surgery, and then just fends someone off, lands. It's almost like when he jumped in for that try, he tried to land on his arm. And he gave Terminator 2 vibes. And I'm thinking in that movie when Arnie comes, a travelator looking thing, or he's got fucking one arm's fallen off. he's had a pitchfork through the heart. He's just basically a stump, which is what Jerome Hughes is going to be like after he loses that arm on the weekend in the grand final. And he puts the killer blow on the T1000. Is Jerome Hughes just Arnold Schwarzenegger of rugby league?
That is a brilliant analogy, because now all I'm picturing is Jerome Hughes getting tackled and turning into that silver liquid like from the Terminator, and just from 80 meters out just slithers his way straight across the try line. But here's one for you. Was it ever broken?
Oh, hang on a minute.
Was it ever broken?
Storm? Are you telling me the Storm, the most
above board team?
They would never cheat the salary cap. They would never rort the system. Are you telling me that
right.
You've got some nerve?
You're right. No, I'm sorry. That was out of line. I thought it might have been some Bellamy mind games. No, you're right. They are the most upright, respected team in this competition for years.
Holy shit, though. What a coup that would be if it literally was. He never broke his arm. It was just a ploy.
It's just mind games to write him off. Because I'll be honest, when the report broke that he'd broken his arm, a lot of talk was, oh, that's it. Melbourne's done. Their season's over. Whatever. It's great. Good. Think about it. Was it ever broken? Yeah, it probably was. It probably was.
And but it was fractured.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
It wasn't broken.
Touche.
You bang on. All right. Let's get to our one of our favorite things to do. We've got one game left, of course, the big grand final. Broncos v Storm. Let's start with the Storm. Why can they win the grand final, and why can't they win the grand final?
Why can they? I think, in all honesty, their spine. Yep. Their spine. Like, Grant, I know you're a big fan of Harry Grant, as am I. Great footballer. Munster, Hughes, even Paps. Like, I was talking to a mate Friday, and we were talking about Paps getting injured. He's had a lot of injuries, but they don't hamper him like others. Like, for example, Turbo. Turbo's done his hammy once. He does it again. He does it again. He does it again.
He just did it as you said that.
It's like Paps does his ankle. He could do ligaments in his ankle, and he's back 3 weeks later, and there's absolutely no repeat injury. There's no sign. He's not hobbling. He's not looking ginger. He's still got his pace.
Yeah.
I think they're a very well-structured team, and basically Bellamy and himself, like 70% or more win record. That's that's massive. You could lose one of those spine, and I still think what Bellamy has and what he brings to that team, I think is enough for them to win. Why can't they? See, that's a tough one.
Is it just they overcooked themselves? Like, it's like that. It's the AFL Grand Final. Going into that AFL Grand Final, I don't think I ever heard one person say that the Brisbane Lions, and to be quite frank, who gives a shit about AFL? But for the sake of this, very similar match, right? Where it's Brisbane versus a Melbourne team, and everyone's saying the Geelong Cats are going to just stroll it in, and the Lions after the third quarter just blew them off the park.
Dominated.
That could happen to the Storm, where they're such favourites, and people are just like, this is completely the Storms. Is it one of those things where they actually convince themselves they've already won it?
You could be right. It could be the case of it's their game to lose.
Yeah.
And they come in too confident, too cocky. I guess in a sense, take Brisbane too lightly. Maybe. I think so. Yeah, I honestly, if they don't win it, I'd put it down to that. That and maybe, as stupid as this sounds, over preparation.
Yeah, that's so true. The extra,
the extra couple of days.
The other thing
could really hurt
for the Storm. Why they don't win is literally Jerome Hughes' arm does fall off. Pappenhausen blows out 4 of his 5 hamstrings, and you know what I mean. And then Munster gets knocked out, and you know what I mean. Like, all of a sudden, they're going, "God damn it, Nelson! You could have been the one guy left in the field." You know what I'm saying? Like, is it one of those where they, even though there is such a great side, and we're sort of sitting here going, "Wow, they're bionicle, man," but
yeah,
literally one, like, Pappenhausen has been concussed in the previous weeks. There's like. It only takes 1 or 2. Like, that's why that game on Sunday. Like, there was a big hit on Nathan Cleary close to the line, and Sorensen got ruled out early with HIA.
Yeah,
if connected with Cleary's head. If that hits him more flush and he's out, then
definitely
they're out for the whole game. It's such a different world now with the HIA.
Yeah. You're right, and it just shows. It doesn't matter how fit you are, how good you are, how much preparation you've had. You can't predict when you're going to get hurt. One injury could absolutely shift the momentum in that game. It's such a big game.
Yeah.
Such a big game.
Why can they and why can't they?
Why can't they? Rest. Rest. Yeah. You said it. I don't know. I guess it now comes down to what's Madge going to do. For the simple fact that, and I was big on it for weeks.
Mm.
When Reynolds went down, I'd basically written Brisbane off. That's it. They were done. And then all of a sudden, Walsh became the main man. Everything he touched turned to gold. Basically, my thoughts then were, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So the fact that they rushed Reynolds back in, I thought they were done. In Sunday's game, I thought that was it. It was too much of a shift in dynamic. It's taken everything away from them. They're not going to do it. They're not going to win. So my question now is, if Madge changes this up and he injects Mam into this starting side, I think that's going to put him on the back foot from the start. I really do.
Feel it a bit in the game too, where there were definite times where they were way more disjointed than previous weeks, where they just had Walsh basically having to run the side. Like, there were moments when Hunt wanted the ball. There were moments when Walsh wanted the ball, when Reynolds wanted the ball, when Mam wanted the ball. And despite as many players as you bring in, there's still only one football. It can only go to you.
Exactly.
I think, we have games like that's when it can be quite challenging for the Broncos. So, yeah, like almost less cooks in the kitchen. Having said that, without Reynolds today, do they win that game?
No, I don't think so.
No,
there was just something off with Walsh's goal kick. You saw that one that hit the upright. That was, to me, any goal kicker slots that for sure, 100%. Why can they win it? I think Reynolds, to be honest.
Yeah.
That, and I think just the momentum of the fixture. They're on a roll at the moment. They've been brilliant for how many weeks now? I think the momentum continues. They go in fired up after Sunday's game. They go in the momentum. They go in after Sunday's win.
Yeah.
Basically, they roll on with it. You don't know when their points are going to come.
Yeah.
They can go out and come in 16-0 down at halftime. You can't even say that game's over.
Oh,
And that's shown. Walsh gets sent to the bin a few weeks ago in Canberra, comes out and turns on a clinic. 14-0 down against a side that, honestly, you'd penciled in for a grand final. I was starting to look at which Penrith players were a shot for a Clive Churchill next week.
yeah.
You can't write them off. The momentum, I think, is a big thing for them.
Unlike you to look for the gambling part of the...
Yeah, definitely looking at those odds, trust me.
Well, this has become one of my favorite segments where we go to the headlines of the rugby league world. So you've been doing this throughout the final series where we're now down to the last one. So it makes it a bit easier for you this week. You've only got to worry about the two sides. NRL headlines. What happens the day after the grand final? What's written in the papers should each of the sides win or lose?
All right. So I've actually got 3 headlines, and one is a grand final preview headline. So you know what? Wouldn't mind seeing this like the morning after, morning after. So this drops on Monday.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind picking up the paper Monday morning and seeing this headline. 2 teams, 1 trophy, and no clue what the officials will do next.
Well, shit, yeah. Both of these teams are considered well looked after in the refereeing department, aren't they, normally?
Definitely. And then I've got, what do you want first? Melbourne wins it or Brisbane wins it?
Give me the Storm, because it feels like it's theirs to lose. So this is the most likely scenario, right? We're going to get this headline.
Straight, simple, to the point. Thunderstruck. Melbourne hails on Brisbane's parade.
Bang. Says it exactly how it should be.
Spot on. Now, the other way around, Storm chasers. Broncos rope and brand Melbourne's premiership hopes.
Oh, yeah.
Now I like a good headline. I'm going to miss those headlines.
Well, we can do it for the Ashes.
Oh, we can if Tongue plays.
Yeah, which if anyone's listened to last week's episode, we're talking about what's our new favourite man? Is his name
Is it Al? No, Josh Tongue?
Josh Tongue.
Yeah, Josh Tongue.
Josh Tongue. He plays for England, bowling 150 clicks, and he's got the greatest last name. And what was your headline? If
he comes out, he absolutely destroys us. Headline next day simply reads, Tongue fucked.
I don't know which newspaper's running that headline, but I love it anyway.
The Batuta. Get it in the Batuta Advocate.
Oh, so good. All right. Scotty, I don't even want to bring this next section up because we are getting to the end of the podcast. I have to mention as well, we while the NRL's happening, we have moved to 2 podcasts a week. So if you are listening for the Comment Club, where we read out your comments and emails, that is now dropping on Thursday in the Thursday episode. And we're going to do a bit of an NRL Grand Final preview. So we're going to really go over what's happening in the Grand Final. There's rumors of of referee changes and that, Ashley Klein's got the flick. So hopefully we'll have more details on that throughout the week, and if that's actually confirmed, because, geez, I don't know if you realize this, Scotty, but I felt like we realized Ashley Klein wasn't a great referee during Origin. So thank God it's only taken another 10 rounds to work that out before the Grand.
It's no secret. It's absolutely no secret, but you're right. I can't believe it's taken him this friggin' long.
My God, the guy loves the sound of his own whistle. Anyway, fingers crossed that that may happen and we get a good Grand Final with 0 whistle blowing. That'd be great. But we did Supercoach last game, so we picked 5 players. We picked a front rower each. We picked a second rower. We picked 2 from the spine and 1 from the backs. And obviously the backs can't pick a fullback because that's part of the spine. The sides were here. Let me read yours. Walsh, Alamotti, Haas, Katoa, Munster. My side, Cleary, Grant, Liam Martin, Vanua Blake, and Brian To'o. Now, even as I read that out, you know who had the blinders.
Yeah, but I mean, at the time, we both picked, in my opinion, strong sides. All right, you want the tallies? Now these have come from Supercoach themselves.
Yeah.
Now, do you want each players or do you just want the total?
Give me the total. Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Your team of 5 scored 261 points.
Oh, that can't be good because
my team of 5 scored 418.
Oh, is that because your captain did really well? Like, what's the go?
Alamotti scored 124, Walsh 80, Haas was my captain, 81, Katoa 58, Munster 75. You had Cleary at 56, Grant as your captain scored 63,
As
Martin
captain,
41.
so he
No,
scored-
well you've got to double that, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So Haas for me was 162, for you is 126.
Yeah.
Liam Martin, 41, Fanua Blake, 59, and Brian Tio'o, 42. You got to remember, Alamotti scored a double.
Yeah.
I don't think Tio'o done much.
He-
Everything was just out Alamotti's way.
Yeah. Fuck. All right, we're going to go double or nothing for the grand final. In Thursday's episode, we're going to pick our grand final teams.
Yep.
Let's put the house on it. Your second
All
test,
right.
nothing, because that
Okay.
was an absolute whitewash. So not my proud moment, that's for sure. Not my
All
proudest.
right.
Well
I'm
done.
all for it.
Well done.
I'm all for it.
Before we head off, we do need to cover one other thing because it's a very sad day here at Talking Sport Report. And it's good that episode 23, the great man Shane Warne episode, but another folklore legend is leaving the game of rugby league.
Oh,
Do you want to tell, like, who we be speaking of? Do you understand who I'm talking about?
I do. Do
Say it
you know
together.
what? Do you know the worst part? This name took both of us weeks and
Yes.
weeks.
Yes.
We never referred to him by his last name until like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Who is it?
We're saying Marky Mark and things like
Yeah.
that. Nowakanita he's
Nowakanita
he said no wuckers to the
Wackers.
no
To
wuckers.
Rugby Union.
Well,
No
it was
Wackers.
it was like one of the worst kept secrets where the fact that the Rugby World Cup is coming up and it's going to be in Australia, he was always going to go back and play rugby union. But I loved your take around the fact that you think there should be some sort of law for anyone who's leaving rugby league.
Well, the issue is you know what Volandis is like. I'm surprised he's not coming out going, you're no longer using us as a stepping stone. That's it. You're done. Once you go, don't come back. Don't come back. We don't want to see you. We don't want to know about you. We don't want you back. It's kind of almost like a messy breakup.
Yeah. He kind of throws bathwater out the baby, doesn't he? Like he's not, he's not the kind of guy that would get, he gets the shits at that sort of stuff. So
Yep.
I'd love to see it though, because you'd have to have, the rule should be you can't come back from union straight to rugby league.
Bingo.
So Nowakanita still got to go play tennis for 12 months. Go play.
Or hit the links. Go play golf.
Yep.
The worst part is whether you're a Roosters fan or not, he's just good for the game.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what you're going to get. He scores some magical tries. He scored a hell of a lot of tries. There's a hell of a lot of collects out there for first try scorer. You put him in a multi, it's a guaranteed leg.
Yeah.
Whether you like the Roosters, you can't stand the Roosters, you despise them, whatever, you've got to admit he is so good for the game. You don't know whether or not he's going to score an absolute ripper in the corner after beating 78 different blokes, or he's going to drop it cold with no one around him. You just don't know what you're going to get.
He was beating off 78 different. Anyway,
That's another podcast. That's the After Dark one.
that's a different one altogether. I think the moral of the story is here. Get ready because we've got him next year, so we still get one more year of Nowakanita. But get ready for like rugby league in like 28 because there's going to be Suolihi coming back, and
Nowakanita.
probably a whole bunch of others just leave rugby union because there'll be nothing left to play for after the World Cup's done. Everyone will come streaming back to rugby league, and the funniest thing is the Roosters will sign all of them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. And they dead set. They'll all be world beaters as well.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Yeah. Anyway,
God
sad
damn.
day. Nowakanita goodbye for rugby league after next year. It's going to be kind of weird, like a whole year with him next year. It's almost like the he's cheated on us, and we're going to take him back for a year because the tech's too good.
Just, or he cooks like a mean beef stroganoff.
Like,
Oh,
look,
fucking hell.
you can come back in and I guess, and until you can find a place of your own, you can live with me for, and, you know, he's like, oh, well, do you mind if I still share the bed? You're like, oh, well, yeah, I guess it's a winter time. The nights get lonely. Yeah, okay.
How much have you thought of this?
Too much.
Yeah. Oh, shit. That's
And with
brilliant.
With that draws an end to episode
Oh,
3. Hail the great man, Shane Warne.
hail.
We are back on Thursday morning. So Wednesday night, we'll drop our episode. We'll go NRL Grand Final. We'll cover off all things Grand Final, but also we'll get onto your tip of the week and work out what we're going to do for the Grand Final. We've got some great live questions to get to. And, of course, we are going to tackle the comment club. I can tell you there has been some fantastic comments coming through. There's a bit of a battle for the number one fan of the Talking Sport report between a couple of great men. We've had a nude sent our way.
I don't encourage them, but the inbox is always open.
It is. And we've got an incredible, I'll give him a quick shout out, Geordie, a fantastic comment from him about listening to the podcast. So,
Perfect.
We'll do a full rundown of his message he sent through in our comment club. You can get in the comment club too before this Wednesday night as well by leaving a comment on any one of our videos on our TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube page at Talking Sport. At Talking Sport Report. And you can email us talkingsportreport@gmail.com and be in our inbox and in our next episode. Until then, Scotty, peace, love, dove. Thank you for tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.